Hello, and thank you for taking the time to check out InFlight. I'm just going to run through a few things to show you how to set up a checklist and how to use this thing. So this is a brand new app. This is just loaded on the phone. It has no data, so this is exactly what you'll get. And with that, we're going to get going here. So I'm going to touch InFlight. So the first thing you see is a blank page. It says you want to add your plane. Well, yes, we do. So this plus button up here, I'm going to touch that. Here's a blank list of all our planes. We have no planes, so let's add one. Alright, for this exercise I'm going to load in part of a checklist for a Grumman cheetah. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but we'll just get going. We're going to say plane number 1. We'll change it to cheetah. Cheetah. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and take a picture, so you can touch this camera right here in the middle. Take a new photo. Alright, I don't have the plane here, so what I've got is the POH. What I'll do is take a picture of the cover. Alright, so with that done, I'll click use. So we're going to use that picture. Now it's populating. So there we have a picture of Grumman cheetah. That's our plane. So now let's go into normal procedures. So we're going to hit normal procedures. There are none, so we're going to add some. I'm just going to add a couple to get going here. So hit the plus button, and I'm going to hit before start. Hit OK. There it is. Let's add start. Let me hit OK. Let's add another one. We'll go before taxi. Hit OK. Run up. OK. And we'll do before takeoff. Alright. Then we're going to do out of 1,000. OK. Once we get to cruise, we'll have a cruise checklist. Alright. I'm going to add a section right here called flight notes. This is really cool because you can come in before each flight even and re-record the flight notes section, which might include information like runway numbers, radio frequencies, or anything you might want to remind yourself of as you approach your destination. So I like to use it that way. So I'll add another one for before landing. Okay, and we'll do after landing, and then the last one will be engine shutdown. Alright, so that's really all the normal steps for operating a Grumman cheetah. So let's go ahead and populate those steps. I'm just going to do the first couple. So before start, click that one. There are no steps, but this is where we're going to add them. So with the plus button, I'm going to make step number 1. You don't have to name them, but it sure makes it easier to go back and look at them. So we'll call this one pre-flight. Complete. Is it? So now right here we're going to record the actual step. So I'm going to hit record, and I'll say pre-flight complete. Hit stop. Now if I want to review it, I can hit the play button and see what it sounds like. I'm going to put it closer. I'll say pre-flight complete. Okay, that sounds fine to me. So I could either re-record it right now or I'll save it. I'll just save it. There it is. That's our step number 1 for before engine start. So let's make another step in here, and we'll call that seats and belts. Alright, we're going to record it. Seats and seat belts secure. Hit stop. I'm not going to listen to this one this time, so I'll just save it. And then we're going to check the hobs and tags. So we'll call this one hobs, not jobs, hobs. Okay, so we're going to record the hobs and tags. Stop, and we'll save that step. Now, obviously there are more steps too before starting the engine, but I'm going to stop with that. So let's say, I'd really rather take the time to write the Hobbs and tacks down before I start everything else. So what you can do is draw your finger across the screen, and this lets you move or delete. I could delete any one of these steps, or I can, over here on the right hand side, I can move it to the top, which I think is better for me. So I've done that. Hit done. Alright, now these are before engine start steps. I'm not going to add any more right now. I'll go back to our main list, normal procedures. Let's put some in the engine start list. There are none, so let's add some. So we're going to hit the plus button. Prime the engine. Okay, now we just hit record. Prime the engine. Stop. I could listen to it. Hit play. Prime the engine. Okay, that's good enough for me, so I'll save it. Step 2, we're going to do master alternator on. Hit record. Master alternator on. Stop. We'll save that step. Then let's get the mixture rich. Okay, hit return. Here we go, record. Mixture to rich. Stop. Save that step. Alright, that's 3 steps of 13. I'm going to stop with that one. We'll back up. I'm going to go to the before taxi list. Add a couple here. So the first thing you do is switch fuel. Switch fuel tanks. So here we go, record. Switch fuel tanks. And we'll save that step. And we're going to lean out the mixture. Lean. So here we go. Mixture to lean. And we'll save that step. Let's add one more avionics. We're going to turn all the avionics on. Avionics on. Okay, hit return. So we're going to hit record. Turn the avionics on. You know what? I'm gonna redo this one a little bit. I'm gonna include check weather. Okay, so I'm gonna re-record this one. Turn the avionics on and push pause to check the weather. Alright, so now I'm saying when you get to this step, you're going to want to pause and check the weather. You can make it however you want. That's the point. So there's 3 steps into the before taxi. I'm going to back out of that. Obviously, you're going to populate each one of these with the steps you want, the way you want them. And you can rearrange them. Again, let's go back here. Maybe I want to move the avionics on and check the weather up here, or in the middle, or down. However you want, you can rearrange it. Hit done. Okay, so I've created some of the steps for the checklist. You'll obviously go through all of them and add them in there. Right here is your emergency procedures. Touch that. There are none because we haven't added any, but you hit plus. Let's make one. Engine out. Okay. To engine fire. Okay. So on and so forth. I'm also going to put one in here for light gun signals. So I can record all the light gun signals in here in case that ever comes up and maybe I'm a little confused about what a green flashing light is versus a steady flashing light, so forth. Point is, you can add whatever information you think you might need. Alright, so we go back. This is a list of the planes. We have one now, it's a cheetah. Let's go back. Here's the main page. So this is the front page. We have one file in here, and that's our Grumman cheetah. So let's try and use this thing. Alright, so we get in the plane, I turn this on, and I touch the screen. And this is our operational page. So I'm sitting in the plane, and I say, okay, before engine start, touch this button. Record the Hobbs and tacks. And I'll say pre-flight complete. Seats and seat belts secure. Alright, so it played through our steps and then it auto-indexed to the next logical checklist. And when you're ready to start the plane, you just tap the button again.
Prime the engine. Master alternator on. Mixture to rich.
Okay, auto-indexes to the next logical step, and so forth. Now anytime you want, you can go back and forth in these just by scrolling through. You could maybe sit right here right now and hit edit and record your flight notes if you wanted to. Point is, you can move around in there and get the ones you want. Alright, so let's say you're flying along and you're at cruise and we have a problem. We have an engine out. So you just tap emergency, engine out, boom. You hit that button. If we had recorded it, which we haven't yet, it would start immediately telling you what to do. Set the plane for best glide speed, pick a landing spot, and start, you know the list. So that's how it works. In-flight is intended to be extremely simple to use when you're in the plane. There's not a lot of buttons to be pushing while you're in flight. There it is, the big white button in the middle. You push play, push pause, push play again. That's pretty much it. It should walk you through the steps in a very logical sequence. The sequence you decide is logical, and it sure does a good job of allowing you to keep your hands and eyes on flying the plane, and hopefully it'll make you a safer and more efficient pilot. I hope you'll try it out. If you have any questions, please contact us through the website, and we'll do what we can to address your questions. Thanks very much.